Welcome into episode 9 of the Hobby Hotline podcast, live this morning on YouTube. Our host this week, special guest host, Eric Norton at Fat Packs Podcast from the Fat Packs Podcast, hanging out with us today. Very excited to have him hop in with us. He was a caller last week, and we asked him to come and hang out with us today, and he gave some of his Saturday morning to hang out with us. Outstanding. John Newman at Sports Card 81 from Sports Card Nation, and I'm Tim Shepler at Big Shep 79. From About the Cards. We're the Hobby's only live call-in show. We're live every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook. You can follow us on Hobby Hotline on Twitter, and we're available as a podcast pretty much everywhere. Good morning, guys. Welcome to today's show. And I think we have a lot to talk about. I'm going to drop the. We had a lot. We had a lot to talk about early before the show. And I think there's gonna be a lot of great conversation going on today. I'm gonna drop the link here in a second so everybody can call in and chat. But fellas, what's your week been like? How's it been?
It's cold. It's cold here. Like it's so everything's pretty much normal. Like I said last week on the show, like not much has changed for us so far, which I'm very thankful. Praise God for that. But today and yesterday, it's abnormally cold here in Texas. So outside of being just frigid, I'm good. How about you guys?
It's warming up here in New York. On a personal level, I was talking to Tim just before we came on. The big thing is going on with shutdowns and freezes and layoffs. And, my wife is temporarily laid off. And I got a little scared myself on Thursday. I'm in the transportation industry, which is really big right now and kind of the backbone and lifeline to getting products and provisions where they need to go. But I teach a class to new and returning drivers. And so with everything going on, they didn't want, and I'm in New York, which is unfortunately the worst state with COVID-19. And so initially they shut down my classes in the Thursday morning. And then they came on later that day and said, we're back on. We're just going to try to screen people and limit your class size. So got a little scared as to what I would be doing with my full-time job. But, right now, just day by day, as the cliche goes.
Yeah, no, I mean, plugging along here. This is complete my third week working from home. And it's starting to finally, in my industry, I work in health insurance. And so it got really quiet because everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. And I've been on more conference calls in the last 3 weeks probably than I have in a long time, and just kind of figuring out what's going on. And I see it kind of picking back up in a normal stream. But I've got to spend, the best thing about this pandemic we're going through is I get to spend more time with my family and my kids. And so I'm able to have lunch every day with them and have breakfast with them and just spend a little bit more time than I normally would be when I'm, going to work. So, but we're going to provide outstanding content. I know that, About the Cards, we're putting out our show every week, and then I'm trying to fill in with like mail days and opening old boxes and doing some retail stuff when I can find it. And, so we're trying to put out content there to kind of fill the gaps without sports. And, we're not I'm not Mike Trout, and, we don't have Giannis on here or LeBron, but hey, we try. We're trying to help out. So I hope you enjoy it. Call in and hang out with us today. We want to hop into it. So there was some big news yesterday that popped out that the printer, one of the biggest printers, is closing by state order, and it's now going to affect Topps and Panini because they use them. Carta Mundi, is that how you say it? Is based in Texas, and they're closed by state order. And so, what effect do you like? A lot of the product coming up has been printed and packed probably, and is going to make its way out. But what's going to happen later? We've seen Bowman that was supposed to drop on the 15th and now it's been pushed back to May 27th. So 6 weeks later, we have definitive collection coming up for baseball. We have Finest coming out in June. We have Series 2 coming out in June, which is always really big. How many future releases do you think are going to be affected by? Does it look like, long term?
I'll just say, I would have thought, again, with what we're going through, sometimes Plan B isn't even going to work in this case. So I'm not criticizing Topps or Panini, but I just wondered, did they have a contingency plan? Maybe like if the warehouse caught on fire, did they have like a backup? And if you just have one option, and then that option is in this case shut down, I mean, your whole business stops, and we're talking a huge industry. And so that would be, that's the only question they can answer is there a plan B that we just don't know about? And plan B, what's going on in today's day and age is also not viable. But if they just had a plan A, it's a little bit on them. Carter Mundy has a place in Dallas. They're in East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. They're in Italy, which is not a good spot to be. They're in Poland. They're in Netherlands. They're in Germany, El Salvador, Hungary. They're really they have plants all over the world. So I guess my option is, obviously, if products come out, we can expect delays for sure. But is it another option, maybe in one of these other countries where the product can get printed there, shipped here, and then distributed? Obviously not on time, but at least the product would still come out.
Yeah, but if you switch factory, how long does it take to get that print going? Because you got to stop whatever you're printing in another. Say you switch to Germany or Hungary or Italy, wherever, and you switch a product being printed there. First of all, how far along are you in the print? And then two, how long does it take to stop what you are currently printing and then change what Topps or Panini needs to be printed at a different location? Is that feasible? Because you got to think that, and you got to know also that Topps and Panini are not the only companies using Carter Mundy to print something. So it's an interesting question.
Oh yeah, definitely. We have a couple of people that have hopped on. We'll bring them in. We got 3B collection. What's up, buddy? How are you doing?
Hey Tim, how are you?
I'm outstanding. What do you have going on today?
We're sorting through some 9-1s.
Very nice.
Looking for variations.
Very nice. You have the black light going?
Hadn't picked one up yet.
Okay. Yeah. So how can we help you? What's your question today, or what topic do you want to talk about?
I was just hopping on and tell y'all, hey man, enjoy the show.
Oh, hey.
Morning.
We appreciate it.
I hope you're doing all right. Stay healthy. I know Joey Shiver will like you based on your background there, the Georgia Bulldogs. So.
Oh yeah, always, always a dog.
Yeah.
I was opening some was it Gypsy Queen, and he's watching the video and he calls out live, "Hey, pull a green." It's a retail parallel of Freddie Freeman, and dang, the second card wasn't a Freddie Freeman green, so it made its way out to him, and you got it right.
That.
Yeah,
I got it. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. So I thought it was awesome. He called the card, and I was like, well, the card's got to go. It's got to go out to him now. So, by the way, if you're not following him, outstanding. Follow at 3B collection. Some really good stuff. Doing 91, and 91's an amazing set. And there's a lot of variations. Long fly ball. David Wright has a lot of information on it, so you should check him out. And he talks about that quite a bit and can tell you tons of stuff. So
right. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Enjoy it.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. We got Kevin. Good morning, Kevin. I think you're still on mute, bud. I might not be able to. You're still on mute. I don't think I can let you on because
there he is.
He has the A's hat on. I don't know if we can let him on today.
All right. Shout out to Ben.
Him.
So here's the quick question. A lot of our stories are when we kind of grew up, right? And our introduction to the hobby back in the junk wax era. But there's a lot of complaints about that era that they flooded the market. Yet I think a lot of kids growing up now don't have the availability to get cards because they don't have a Target or Walmart. Yeah, I actually live up in the metropolitan New York area, and there's not a lot of Walmarts and Targets. There are, but there's not. So I guess my question is, since hopefully Panini or Topps are listening, and I get it, this is secondary, maybe a year, 2 years from now, whenever they get back to regular business, can we get availability like we always used to have? A lot of us talked about where do we get our cards? They were out there, every supermarket, every drugstore, every five and dime, whatever you want to say, but every community had them. And I guess the question is, the distribution networks, can't they say at least one product, whatever it is, geared to kids, opening day, big league, whatever it is, we are going to flood the market. We're going to make them available to every place, and it's just going to be one set. But at least you don't have to travel to only go to Target or Walmart. Online, kids with their mothers, their dads, they want to be able to get them any place. And I just want to get your thoughts on that, guys.
Yeah, no, I think a big problem behind it is actually being able other locations, say like a 7-Eleven or a Rite Aid or a Walgreens, is actually being able. I mean, Walgreens has had like hanger boxes of their own lately. We've seen Meijer have their specialty hanger boxes. So there's a few locations there. I mean, Walgreens obviously is about. Well, I think we did the numbers on about the cards about 3 times larger, 5 times larger than Meijer is, and that's mostly in the Midwest. But it's selling them because I know that Cardboard Icons in 2018-19 or 17, the Lucas here, 18-19 he had a 7-Eleven that had Prism retail, basketball Prism retail, and they couldn't sell it, and he was buying packs for $1 a piece, and ended up buying out the entire store because this guy that had the 7-Eleven reached out and was able to work with a distributor and get some product to sell, but they couldn't sell it. No one was buying it. We're talking 18-19 Prism with Luka. And so he ended up buying all of the product. I just think that there is not enough. It's not to that point where we were in the wax era where everybody and their mother were collecting cards because they saw the value of a Mickey Mantle card and they saw the value of Willie Mays. We're looking back to those collectors now are going, well, I collected all this stuff and I had Will Clark and I had Bonds and I had Griffey and McGuire, and now those cards are maybe a quarter. So why am I going to do this? That's the sad part. But it also kind of helps, I think, in the production, keep it down so we can still have some value later in life with these cards. But also too, with the insertion of autographs and relic cards, which people are looking after, there's only so much of that quantity or that product available. So now it helps them limit how much they can print. I don't know what you guys think, but I think that's kind of why that's not happening.
I think I'm the oldest. I might be the oldest guy in the room. So I grew up in a time, Tim, where whatever store you went into, there was a box of cards at the front of the counter. I mean, it was right there when you check out. As a kid, that was awesome. I hate to say it, I think those days are probably over. Some of the points you made are why. Also the stores don't want to carry them. Now they got to worry about people taking them or ripping them open. Is it a cost thing? Are they going to make some money? Is it worth them to buy a case of this? And it might collect a little more dust than they like. And it's become even a business decision on the store end. But again, I grew up in that heyday. It didn't matter really what store it was. There was a box of Topps, whatever sport, right at that, either on the counter or right near it. And I remember asking my grandpa, how many can I get? And I think those unfortunately, I think it'll be just days we reminisce about.
Well, I think that's part of the issue. I think what you hit on, John, no question. I'm 58 and I had the same experiences. So
I'm 40. I still had those.
Yeah. But I think we're missing the boat because think about it. Why is it that we're here as middle-aged men? I'm 58, right? Because it brings us back to our childhood. And if we're not getting those experiences for the kids coming up, and yeah, I get it, there's different experiences, but to be able to have an availability to get something, I got to believe that the Panini and Tops of the people out there, there's got to be a segment that it could work, whatever store it is. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just I'm climbing up the ladder that's not there. But
I think they want. I think that they want to do this. I just think that it's trying to grab the attention of these kids, where everything is digital and everything is instant, and it's a hard way to get something physical in their hands, because this generation's not used to having physical things. Yep. They're used to having things in the ether, right? Flinging Wax has a good one. He says the Dollar Tree value gravity packs are available, and they've pushed those to other Dollar Tree locations. Yeah, like I said, I picked up Donruss yesterday, 5 card packs for $1, and I think they're trying to put out stuff in different locations. I just think it's hard to do that. So, Kevin, we appreciate it. Well, we're gonna bring on another caller. We have O, like some regulars calling in. What's up, O? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. Following the hat theme.
I like it. Well, hockey action.
I'm like the odd man out here. All you got is a big forehead. I got like LeBron James right here.
Well, we can put. You know what we could do is just put the Steelers logo like right on the forehead.
I joke with my son, if the next Super Bowl they win, if that ever happens again, I'm going to get a tattoo. But
hey guys, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go grab something. I'm gonna be right back.
All righty. I'm nervous. So, what's up, bud? What do you want to talk about today?
I want to talk about the Topps Future Stars Club, and I know I already got your opinion, but I want the rest of the group.
Are you looking at the show notes? Did you hack my computer? Because that was our next topic.
There's
so give me 1 sec.
There's a leak.
I want to update people on what it is. This guy, we got a hacker here. So the Topps Future Stars Club popped out this week. It's a new monthly subscription with Topps. Bryce Harper is going to be their brand ambassador for this. It's a monthly subscription box with free shipping if you do the Smart Post. You can do the fancier, quicker shipping, but Smart Post, it's still pretty quick. Each box will include 1 box of trading cards, a 5-card set, and a collectible item. It's $25 a month for a year. Oh my God, there we go. And it's why supplies last. So I think they're only going to take so many subscriptions. It'll be shipped the 3rd week of every month. April's box is a 2020 Topps opening day value box, a 5-card set. The theme is left-handed power hitting outfielders. Yordan Alvarez is in there, like Reggie Jackson. There's a handful of guys in there. There's also collectible patch. So, what are your thoughts on this Future Stars? Did you sign up?
No, I did not, but I have been thinking about it. Maybe this could be like the kids' version, or like a more affordable version of like the low end of you can think of like the 582 Club is the high end, and this could be the low end.
No, definitely. I think you're right on. I think that's what Mike Sommer says that he signed up. I signed up for it. I think there's going to be some really good value to this, because they talked about that there's going to be a big league hobby box in May. So if they're going to send you a hobby box for $25 plus a 5-card collect set, it's not a bad deal. And so I agreed to sign up and check it out for the year and see what happens. Guys, what do you think about Topps doing this with their Future Stars Club?
I think it's great. The guy before John was talking about, advertising towards kids, and that's what Big League is. That product is all geared towards kids, and I actually happen to like that product. But for the buy-in price here, was it $19.99 per a month? Is that right?
25?
Was it $25
bucks?
And it's free shipping.
Yeah. Well, you can sign up for free shipping, and I usually do Smart Post when I buy from Topps Direct.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually a week. It's pretty quick. It's not like they're sending it by snail. So
right. So I mean, that's almost a no-brainer. I mean, especially if it's geared towards getting kids back into the hobby. There was a comment back up the feed that said kids are really they're in the Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon cards, and that's what they're into now, and that's the truth. So if Topps were to gear this towards a kid, I think it's smart on their end. And I mean, it's not. I mean, guys like us are going to order it. Drew just said he signed up himself, but for kids, $25 isn't going to break the bank if you're nice, So I think it's a good deal.
No, yeah, I know, and I think too with it being, get something in the mail, right? And that's pretty much the cost of a blaster, and you're about getting that a week plus a 5-card set that you're only going to get from there.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you open the box, right, and you flip the 5-card set that's going to be limited, I think that's an awesome value, because that there's going to be team collectors or player collectors that don't sign up for this, but their guy or their team pops that 5-card set, and they're going to be willing to pay whatever they need to get that card.
We got dueling hats over here on the bottom.
Yeah,
Eric changes and O said, "All right, I see your hat raised, and I'll put this one on."
Hey, since we're talking hat, I know we're talking tops, right? But I got something, and I've had it for a while, and I need to give it away. Do you guys mind if we do a giveaway this show?
Oh, we can do a giveaway. I love it.
Giveaway? All right. Yeah. Again, I know we're talking tops, okay? But I have this Upper Deck hat signed by Alex Lafrene. Nice. That I need to give away. I've had it for a while, so we didn't go. We was going to go with me to the show in May to give it away in Toronto, but we're not going, obviously. So there's your certificate of authenticity right there. But let's find a way to give away this hat, since we're having a hat theme this morning. We'll give this hat.
Okay.
Let's
do this.
I don't want to take your show from you. So
no. Yeah, no. Let's do this. Let's do. We'll do a. Leave a great comment about the show. It has to be positive. If Phil Hughes says, leave a positive comment on the show. You can leave a negative comment, but it's not going to get you an entry. Leave a positive comment on the YouTube channel, Hobby Hotline, and what we'll do is on next week's show, we'll grab all those names and we'll do a random, and the top one will get it, and we'll get you in contact with Eric, and we'll get you a hat.
Awesome, sounds great.
Yeah, hey, I really appreciate that. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. That's cool.
Thanks, Eric. Look at this. I mean, Eric's already showing us up. He comes in. He's got cool hats. He's got a giveaway. It's like, man. So, you got to let us know, man, if you hop in the Future Stars Club and want to join with me and Mike and Drew. We're going to be collecting it. I'm hoping there's a lot of A's that pop in this. That way I can call up Ben, because I know he's not going to sign up. And I said, hey, Ben, I need like $10,000 for this Ricky Henderson A's card from the Top Future Stars collection, and make him pay through the teeth. That's what I'm looking forward to. So, I appreciate it. We got another regular hopping in, Kevin Jones, wearing a Brewers hat. I have that Brewers hat. It's the best Brewers hat. And by the way, that's the best Mariners hat. These teams need to go back to those logos. Let's do it.
Well,
Kevin, what's up, buddy?
The Brewers did this year, which is pretty nice. They kind of adopted this logo again, formally for good. But I just wanted to hop in real quick and with the previous caller prior to the gentleman that was on regarding the kids and the trading cards, and Fat Pack's podcast kind of alluded to it, but the kids are really gravitating towards the gaming cards, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think to a lesser extent Magic. But I was at a card show back in January. It was a very small card show, but there was an out-of-state dealer from New York who actually has a brick-and-mortar card shop in New York. But he travels around the country doing shows with just Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Pokemon. And at this card show, all the kids, every kid was huddled around this guy's like 4 huge tables filled with stuff. Super excited, super engaged. None of them had any interest in the sports cards. And then along with those kids, there were also kind of younger millennials in their, say, mid-20s, early 30s, who were also all huddled around that table looking at the Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. And it's just, I really think that when I go to the stores now to grab like a blaster or something, I'm picking up a pack of Pokemon every time. I'm just stashing them away. I don't really know anything about them. But I just grab like 1 pack every time, and I have this big trunk where I keep on unopened stuff, and I'm just stashing them. I really feel like, 20 to 30 years from now, those kids are going to be who are playing right now are going to be wanting to find something tangible and not digital, and will be gravitating back to try to find those Pokemon cards of their youth. Because, I mean, my nephews, for example, they're all in their 20s, and they speak with such fondness of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And when they reach their peak earning years, like we're all in right now, they're going to be, I think, looking for that stuff. And I feel like that there's going to be more. I feel like for every one new sports card collector coming into the hobby, there's probably 5 to 10 kids doing non-sport. Again, I'm not advocating for it, but I pick a pack up every time I go and just stash it. It's really weird. It was a really weird observation.
Well, yeah, I know that the guy that owns my LCS here in Sacramento has another one in Modesto, which is an hour and a half away, and that store is about 50%, if not 60%, gaming, like Magic and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, versus sports cards, because for whatever reason in that market that tends to do better. Where his store up here is 100% sports cards, and mainly baseball, basketball, and football. There's a small hockey, racing, and soccer side, but there's no gaming up here. And it's just really interesting to see that. I think it's also too by where the area is. Modesto is a little closer to the Bay Area, and I think just that has something to. I mean, it has a little something to do with it. But I see a lot more of that. I think what can happen is if these card companies got with Little League, associations and organizations, and provided something out to them to do, like during a sign, like, hey, when you sign up for Little League, hey, you know what it is, like, here's the first taste is free, and then you're gonna want to come back to me. I know when I played Little League, our coach had a deal, like if we went to practice, we got a little ticket, and we could take that ticket to the card shop up the street, Coach's Corner, and turn it into Cowboy, who owned the shop, great man. We could turn it into him, and our coach had a box set aside for the team, and you would get a pack of whatever Topps or Donruss product was out at the time. And man, there were kids that on my team that didn't collect but wanted to show up to practice to go get a free pack just because, hey, I'm getting a free pack and some bubble gum, So I think there's ways to do that. I think also too is I think the trading card companies are having a hard time trying to, we've seen like Topps Bunts, right, online, and we've seen these different online things, but they're just not taking off, I think, the way that they wanted them to, and they kind of lose their luster after a point. I think they need to look at something like Pokemon Go and how that got people outside and do some kind of a baseball or football or basketball card version of that. So
yeah, I think they need to make it a game. Like what? I don't know. It's really weird. But one last thing before I hop off. Have you guys noticed as the retail dried up in your areas? Go to the store or something and just take a walk by the aisle. Is it totally dried up?
Empty.
Is it a panic buying thing? Is that what that is? Just toilet paper and sports cards?
Well, maybe. I mean, I've gone, the couple times I've ventured out, I've been trying to buy some retail to do some rip and retail episodes. And it's like the only thing I'm seeing really is Series 1 Topps. Like Heritage has been gone. I bought what I could of Gypsy Queen at Walmart the other day. It's very, very, I think it just doesn't look like it's getting filled. Like I know when my guy that goes to the Walmart up the street, he's there every Friday morning. And I went by while he was there and he was like just cleaning up. He's like, I haven't received anything. I'm just here cleaning up and it just, it's been obliterated and he wasn't sure what was going on. So
yeah, I saw I saw a fresh stock of Gypsy Queen, I guess maybe last week, and actually grabbed 2 blaster boxes. But then I was like, do I really need this right now? And I ended up actually just putting them back. And then the next day it was all completely wiped out. Usually that sits on the shelf for a while. And like I said, the maybe 8 blasters that they had and a few of those kind of hanger pack type things were gone. But now it's it's just barren. So
with my LCS, there was a guy that came in. They have a big 8-foot table like full of junk wax. And right when all this started about 3 weeks ago, I went in because I was gonna buy like 4 or 5 boxes to do some of this retro rips, and the table was empty. some guy came in and bought the entire table. And some of this stuff had been there a year.
Interesting.
And he came in, he was like, I'll take the tire table, because he's like, I need stuff to do because I'm going to be locked away.
It's funny. Tim made some great points with getting kids in the hobby. Anyone that knows me knows that's a huge thing with myself. It's got to start like you said on the little league level, whether that's free packs or if you show up to practice, we're doing this or you're getting that. It's gotta start there. Whenever I'm in Target or Walmart and I'm in the card aisle and a couple kids come by, they go right to that Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I just remember being the kid that, well, obviously there wasn't Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic when I was a kid, but whenever I see them, I'm like, oh man, there's a little disappointment. Like I almost want to, guys, baseball, football cards, basketball cards, right? But it never fails. Anytime I've seen kids in that aisle, they go right, they make a beeline right for that non-sports stuff. It's huge. I mean, you can't deny it.
I got into collecting with wacky packages. I don't know if you guys remember those, the old Topps wacky packages stickers. That was my introduction really to cards, was wacky packages.
Yeah, I remember those.
So to Kevin's point about what he's doing now is picking up those packs and saving them. I'm kind of an older soul, and I watch Antiques Roadshow. I'm just going to admit that out here to the public now. And the other night on Antiques Roadshow, they had a woman had a collection of the first generation Magic the Gathering. She had a whole set with alpha and beta in it, and now she's looking at tens of thousands of dollars because everything was there. What you're doing now, right now, currently, there's a Pokemon card. It's a shiny Charizard, and it's great. And graded copies are selling through the roof. So you're probably making a smart move, Kevin, by putting that away. I'm not saying that you're going to have tons of that card, but the potential of you just picking up stuff now and having it for the future in some time is really smart in the gaming area that you're doing.
Yeah, well, guys, I'm going to hop off and let somebody else come in, but it's always good checking in with all you guys. Hey, I hope everybody's doing well.
Yep. Thanks Kevin. Stay safe, buddy. It was great to see you. Appreciate it.
You guys are great. Later.
Thanks. Kevin's awesome. He calls in almost every week to hang out with us. I kind of want to go into this. We're talking about there's nothing at retail, right? But Topps has had all this on-demand stuff. We have Topps Living. We have the new Project 2020, which I want to talk about because I've mixed emotions. And then Topps Now, or what I loved, what Ryan Cracknell called Topps Then, the way they're doing the flashback stuff since there isn't any sports, and they're doing a sports card a day of a flashback in the 87 turn back the clock design. Will they be able to continue to sell these on-demand products and wait to ship if they can't print?
It's a great point.
Or is Topps Living, and are they just going to stop, boom, we're stopping on this date? Because I look forward to Topps Living every week. It's a big part of our show. And
it's a great point. Are these cards being obviously printed in the same factory, Cardamundi? If they can't print your new releases, those are new releases. They're just online exclusive. So like you just said, are they going to have to hit the pause button? And then, we talked about panic wax buying, if there's no new products coming out, it's bad. If you go to Target or Walmart and you start seeing that Topps gallery display that's full start to trickle down, that'll be the thermometer. That will be the thermometer to how bad we are with wax withdrawal. When you see missing blaster boxes out of Topps gallery and the jumbo packs, we know we're in trouble with wax consumption, and people are dropping. It's like a fix, it's like have to get something. So
what do you think, Eric? I mean, with all these on-demand stuff, I mean, do they suspend sales? I mean, can they afford to suspend sales?
That's a tough call, man. You wonder what the smart thing to do is for them. I mean, obviously, you want to keep the collectors interested and keep them, give them something to offer, keep them entertained. But is it financially responsible for them to continue to offer these and then not be able to print them, because you're going to cause a backlog on the other end, and then you're going to have upset customers, and man, that's a tough question to answer. I wonder what Topps is really going to do there. I know that about the cards. You guys were big into the Topps living set, and come working where I work and perspective I have on it. It's a pain to keep up with everything, but you guys just stay on top of it. You do a great job, highlighting the cards each week. But I don't know that Topps should continue to do it at the time being. I think, but that's between Topps and their management. That's a good question though. I don't know. Just instant printing all the way around. What do you do?
Yeah, no, and it's. I was thinking about it and was driving me nuts, and I was like, okay, like I'm not sure what's going to happen. I mean, like I heard yesterday with Doug from Mojo Break, he was supposed to be on today. He or Dan were going to be on. They just couldn't because their social. They had to put all of their shipping staff on sabbatical or whatever. I mean, they're paying their staff, which congratulations to them that they're doing that. And they had to put those guys that make them stay at home, and so they're working in separate parts of their office, I guess. But he said we're so backed up on shipping right now, it's just back to the old school days where it's Dan and Doug doing everything. Mm-hmm. And they've even cut back he said last week they've cut back on their breaks because they don't want to have the lag in ship time. Mm-hmm. And they're still filling breaks, but again, it's like that's kind of like they were feeling a need too with some of this stuff. He goes, I haven't seen our demand drop down at all, if not increase. Because now people are home or people don't have access to the stuff that we have. I don't know what they do, and that's a hard thing to talk about or to even think about. But that's something I think they're going to have to talk about. I really want to know real quick. We have a caller coming in. I want to bring in, but the Topps project, the Project 2020. Now, George Brett is my guy, and the 75 came out this week, and I bought it. There's going to be 20 versions of it supposedly with all the different artists. Now, I've been a fan of a few of them, and some of them like, okay. But I feel like, I don't know, like they were supposed to remake the card. There was the Tony Gwynn that came out yesterday, which wasn't even close to what the Topps card was at all. It wasn't even the same photo. It wasn't even it was from later in his career. And then there was like the Ricky Henderson where it looked like somebody just took a black marker to it. I get it, but at some time it looked like they just mailed it. To me, it looked like, and I don't know who these artists are originally, but it looked like it mailed it in. And a funny thing was, there's a guy, Booby Main, Robbie T86 on Twitter, that in 2017 made a 91 Fleer set of his own and changed it up. And the picture of the Tony Gwynn that's used in the Project 2020 is the same exact image, cropped the same exact way as Booby's picture from 17. They were exactly the same cards. I'll see if I can find it real quick and pull it up. But I just want to know what your guys' real quick thoughts are. And we have Shane, who I want to get on, who said he bought all of the junk wax everywhere. So we're going to bring him in here in a sec.
Well, I'm a Jackie Robinson guy, so I was curious to see what that edition was going to look like, and it'd probably be one of the few I would consider purchasing. I saw it. I got to be honest with you, I'm not a Jackie Robinson super collector, so it's not like I have to buy it. It didn't do much for me. It didn't scream buy it, John. And like you said, the Henderson, I mean, they just darken the outlines on it. I mean, it's just, oh my God. I did that when I was 7 with cards to face in them. Unfortunately, some of those were pretty good, but it like you said, mailed it in is the perfect term, Tim. I just felt like not all of them. I don't want to paint with a broad brush. Some of these artists probably, they're all artists for a reason, because they can do. I can barely draw a stick figure, so kudos to them and their accomplishments. But on the card stuff, when I heard about this new product being launched, I was kind of excited about it, interested in it, and now that it's really here and live, I'm less interested in it.
So here's the 2020 Gwen that they did, the Project 2020. Here is what boobies look like.
Wow.
So I don't know, and not that he's like a famous artist or anything, but no, it was weird to me it was there, and I just
put that picture back up, Tim, if you could, please.
Oh, yeah.
Of the 2020 project.
Okay, there's that one.
That's
Give me one sec. I closed it. Give me 1 sec here. Yeah. So no, I don't know, Eric. What do you think? I mean, I like the idea. I totally like the idea. I just think they've kind of botched it a little bit in what they've done.
So if anybody listens to my show at all, you know I'm a big sports art fan. I love sports art, and I do all I can to promote it. So my first, before we get to Tony Gwynn here, but no one's going to bring up the Ted Williams card because that was a monstrous disaster. Whoever approved that is like Ted's head is cryogenically frozen in Arizona somewhere. He did not need that Topps 2020 project card out of him. That thing is hideous. I don't know who did.
Let me see if I can grab it.
You get please, Tim, find it for me so the people can know what I'm talking about. But it's not good. I like the concept, but like you're right, the Ricky Henderson, they just darkened the area, around the card. At least give me something like the Mattingly where it looks like a 7-year-old did it. That's fine. I can get behind that. But if you're gonna take something and put a Sharpie to it, look at that Ted Williams. Look at that. That is hideous. I don't get it.
Now, at least here's the thing, though, Eric. I don't deny that it is pretty ugly, but at least there's some artwork. Pull up that Tony Gwynn again.
All right, give me 1 sec.
I know I keep going.
No, it's okay. I wish this is where Steph comes in.
If you look at the Gwynn that, if you want to say stole from Booby, Maine, where's the art in that? That just looks like a card. You know what I mean? I get, cards are art, forms of art, but where's the artwork itself? That's just a photo, pretty much, with a border.
Look, I get that art is all about interpretation. Yeah. But there's just certain levels of things. There's a certain level of quality and expectation that you have when you get behind something like this. If you go to a Subway and order a turkey on white and they give you a ham on wheat, they can't tell you that that's their interpretation of a turkey on white. That Ted Williams card, that Tony Gwynn card, that Ricky Henderson card, that's not art. That's just a copy. It's a copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah, so here's the Ricky Henderson, and then at least the Mattingly shows like someone had to have drawn it, and the Mattingly is done by an artist that does artwork that looks like that. So I understand that part of it, like that's their design and stuff. The Willie Mays,
Mays, I think is the best one that I've seen so far.
Yeah,
I like the Bob Gibson one. I mean, check it out. Go to Topps Project 2020. If you just Google, it'll pop up, but. To me, I think it's been a big miss, and the fact that they're having all 20 artists do all 20 cards at $20 a piece. You're talking for one card, it's $400 to have their full run. So we have a couple callers lined up. Let's hop in. Shane, good morning, Shane. What's up? What brings you in today?
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Shane.
Morning.
How's it going?
Outstanding, bud.
So I just wanted I tried to hop in last week to talk about my Cheap Wax Wednesday series, but I had some issues, so I'm back.
Yeah, give us talk about that a little bit.
So every Wednesday, it's now through Beckett. It used to just be on my own blog. I think the last probably 5-6 months, Beckett has hosted it, but I started it back in April of 2015. So for the last 259 weeks, I've shared a different product. Every product is under $50. That's where the cheap wax comes in. The prices range anywhere from $5 for some junk wax up to the $50 limit, and I'm sharing a different product every single week.
I love that. It's awesome, and it's stuff that you don't normally like. Where are you sourcing some of this stuff? Because I haven't seen some of this stuff out in the wild. So where are you locating this stuff?
So a lot of the stuff is from Baseball Card Exchange. He has a massive inventory of older product, so that's where I search to see if I can find something I haven't done yet.
Nice. Are you finding it hard to find new stuff since you've gone so many weeks? I mean,
well, I still have 90 breaks of pictures waiting to post. So that gets me almost 2 more years out. And then the last order I did, there was still quite a few options, even on just Baseball Card Exchange, for me to find new products.
That's outstanding. So, definitely check. I mean, check it out. I mean, I love it. I love looking at. I mean, it takes you back, and then it's stuff like, oh, I didn't know that existed. Like, or I'm gonna go chase this down now. So, pretty amazing stuff there. So, anything else you want to talk about today?
That's it, guys. I just want to check in, see how you guys were holding up through all this nonsense, and then share that little piece.
Well, doing the best we can, I think, all and keep producing content. I mean, that's awesome. It gives us something to look forward to and enjoy every week. So thank you, Shane.
You got it.
All right. Awesome. We have James, and James said he wants to talk about 2020 or Topps Project 2020. What's up, bud?
Yeah, I'm not completely all in. I'm not buying the entire 400 card set. That's ridiculous. But I am totally in on it. So I'm in Toronto, Canada, and I run group buys here. And surprisingly, it's been popular. We, like the Ichiro card sold well. The Wacky Trout card sold well. The secondary values are mind-blowing. The secondary market, they're selling for 2 to 3 times the original price. And then I don't know if you realize, but there's also the silver framed artist proof that are numbered to 20, which sell for like $100.
Yeah, they're bringing big money.
Again, like 2 to 3 times the original price, and they sell out pretty much instantly. Like on the blowout boards, people are saying, people are using bots to buy them up, which who knows, right? But they're selling for $200, $300, $400. The Ichiro is it's selling like crazy right now. The original, even just the base card, it's selling really, really well.
What do you think about some of the designs that we talked about, the Henderson, and we talked about the Gwyn? The Gwyn does, at least all the other cards look physically like it's a reimagination of what the original card looked like. That Gwyn card has nothing to do with his 83 Topps.
Yeah, when it first dropped, I was Googling the images of the cards like the year before, the year of, the year after. I'm going, this is not the same card. And on one of my Facebook groups, we were talking about it and going, yeah, where did this picture come from? The art is definitely I like art. I appreciate art. My father's an artist, so I get people have different styles of artwork. Some I don't really like, and those are the ones I'm not buying. I bought one of the Mattingly today because I think it's going to short print. I wouldn't be surprised if it prints under 1,000 cards, and who knows what the value for that will be in the secondary market.
Yeah, most of the cards I think have hit over at least 1,100, right? So far.
Yeah, it's averaging about the lowest is 11 something. Before that, it was like 1,205 or something like that. So yeah,
and so I bought the Brett, and that's just because George Brett's my guy, and so it's like I feel like now I'm all in. I was gonna be like maybe I'll find one I like and buy it. Yeah. But you don't know what the others are gonna look like.
Yeah.
So now I feel like I'm all in on buying every Brett that comes out. And I'm doing it through the person I buy my Topps Living through. So I know he's doing group buys, so I get a little bit of a discounted price from it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Well, they're up to what card number now? They're up to 16.
I think I believe so.
Yeah. So by Tuesday of next week, we'll see at least what the artwork should look like from the other 20 artists, and I think that's where you'll see people start to really focus on what they want to do. Do they want to focus on just the artist, or do they want to focus on the player?
Yep. Yeah, and we're up to card 15 and 16 pop with Willie Mays and Tony Gwynn. So,
and just another note, I heard you guys talking about, with the Topps factory shutting down in, I think, Texas, right? All the on-demand stuff comes out of Florida, and from what I've heard, they're going to continue to, for now, they're going to continue to produce and ship from Florida.
All right. Well, yeah, Florida has no rules. With what's been going on, it's just like, whatever. We're Florida. We're going to do what we want. We're going to fight gators and, whatever. Tony Montana, he's running around, and so.
So all the living stuff, right? All the living series, all the Project 2020. Now they should all continue to print and run. So I for at least for the foreseeable future until Florida shuts down the state, right?
Yeah. Well, that's good insight. I appreciate it, James. And by the way, you're wearing a very divisive, I believe, Toronto Blue Jays logo.
Well, you gotta look at the side. You gotta look at the side, though.
Okay. Okay, Roy. Yeah. But I have a question on that. Now, what is your favorite Blue Jay logo?
The current one.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? It's funny. I'm a big fitted. You guys can see the posters in the background. I'm a big New Era fitted hat collector, and it was around this time. My first Jays fitted logo was this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend that loves it. I think they had such a classic logo when the World Series runs. That hat to me is awesome. Yeah. And when I went to that, I was like, wait, what? And then they had that red uniform, and I'm like, what are they doing?
Well, did you see?
You have such classic colors and logo. Yeah. I just think it didn't make sense to me. So,
well, you've seen the Muscle J, right? The one, that one's just bananas, right? But no, definitely the current logo. I it's modern looking, but it's still a throwback to the original one.
Yeah, and it's a good like what the Brewers are doing. I think that hopefully we have this season what they'd be wearing. So awesome. Well, hey, James, I appreciate it for coming in and giving us that insight.
Yeah,
and we'll talk. We're going to talk about this more, I think, as it goes along to see what's going on. So feel free to reach back out to us.
I'd be happy to talk about all the on-demand stuff. I love the on-demand stuff. I'm a big Tops Now collector, living set. Like I said, Project 2020 I've gotten into. So be more than willing to come on.
Awesome. We appreciate it, James. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Be safe.
You too.
See, awesome. So
at this rate,
international calls.
Yeah, at this rate, it might be the only thing we have to talk about as far as new release goes, is the on-demand stuff.
This week on About the Cards, we always talk about, hot off the presses, what the new releases are for the week. I had to kind of like force something. We talked about the Panini Select Hybrid thing that came out, which just didn't make sense. I don't know what it was a hybrid of a money grab and a new release. I don't know. Because it was just like all it was is it had a different parallel anyway. And then we talked about Project 2020 in a little more detail, and that was it because stickers got pushed back. Got pushed back a week, and then we also were supposed to have Flawless, and I knew Flawless was going to get pushed back because how do you release National Treasures football this week, and then the following week you release Flawless? So it's like here's a $1,500 box. Here's like what a $2,500 box back-to-back weeks, and then on top of it, it's during a pandemic, and we have 6 million people unemployed. Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So
hey, Uncle Klein popped in too and said that the Panini Instant is printed in a different location as well. So, so that's good. Like you just said, at least we have something to talk about and go forward with.
Yeah. We just have a few minutes left here in the show today, and we talked about unemployment here, and I think it's like over 6.5 million people right now have gone to unemployment. And John put a good question in our group thing as we're talking about the show. What we're going to talk about is will we see any sellers completely sell off to pay bills? And I think will the newbie collectors, the people that hopped in when box prices were like I talked last week, 2020 Top Series 1 jumbo box all day at the most is $120 box at most. Series 1. We're not talking update or Series 2, but at most Series 1, and it's selling for $180 a box because all these new collectors have come in and driven up the demand for the product. And hey, if an LCS can get that price, awesome, because you know what, that's going to keep them open. They're going to make a few more bucks, and they're going to be able to provide more stuff. But do you think it's going to drive those guys away? And I mean, do you think this is going to have an effect with people's discretionary income saying, hey, listen, like I got to pull back on my trading card spending because I need to make sure that I'm not sure if in 6 weeks, if this keeps going, if I'm going to be having a regular paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, I think, if anyone loses their job, even if it's temporarily, even if it's a temporary layoff, is cards going to be on the forefront of your mind when it comes to mortgages, car payments, utilities, and whatnot. And I've never been on unemployment. Knock on glass. I hope to keep saying that, to be truthful, but it's not what's cracked up to be. You're not going to get what you would working. So you're going to be making obviously less money. And as we know, bills aren't really saying, okay, pay less because you're making less. Although I know in some states they're actually, New York, they're talking about giving us a 3-month mortgage relief, and every state does their own thing. But, when that discretionary income isn't there, cards are not going to be on the forefront. And I've seen, like I told you before the show, Tim, I've seen a lot more fire sale posts, getting out. Me and my wife just got laid off. I got bills. I'm going to give you guys some deals here. I even seen one post where the guy was selling his stuff because of that. He said, me and my wife both got laid off this week. I'm going to give you some deals when everything, he kind of made a tongue-in-cheek comment, when everything goes back to normal or some semblance, let me buy the stuff back from after selling it to you, And so I've seen a lot more of those type, for sale, getting out type posts, which you don't like to see as someone who's been in the hobby. Me being an old man that long, you don't want people to leave, but desperate times call for desperate measures, and so I'm seeing more of that.
I think.
What about you, Eric? What do you think?
I think, Tim, it's our responsibility as the voices that we are in the hobby to actually not tell people what to do. We shouldn't do that, but at least, hey, when you get your stimulus check, don't go blow that on cards, right? I mean, and I'm saying that kind of tongue in cheek, but I'm being serious too. I mean, we've been around for a long time. Don't go buy cards and put yourself in a worse position where you can't pay your bills. That's not what that's for. Don't buy cards thinking you're going to be able to flip those cards for more money. That usually doesn't happen. We have to be responsible. We have to be responsible for the voices that we are, and all of us have our own podcast. All of us are collectively here, and I think it would just be smart of us to say, hey, be smart about your money. I hope that card shops can continue to thrive even in this time. But the fact of the matter is it's buying cards is discretionary income for most people. It's not a necessity. So with that being said, just be smart about what you're doing. I was stupid once when I was in the military. I didn't have any bills because the Army paid for everything. I spent my whole paycheck on cards, and I remember getting out of the Army and going, "Oh, I can't do that no more. That's not smart." So I just want to be a voice of reason here and say, "Hey, be smart about what you're doing."
Yeah, I mean, I've said multiple times on our show is if you're going to the store and or you're going to the shop and you're like, okay, looking up like I have X number of dollars left in my credit card limit. What can I buy? And it's cards, and maybe not the smartest decision. Mike Sommer, who's one of the hosts on the show, talks about self-sustaining hobby, and the only stuff he ever buys is with money he's earned from sales. Right. And it's taken him some time, but he's there. He's living this life of, I sell stuff, I take that money, buy more stuff, sell that, and then I get to pull out what I want, and I'm still making money. It does take some time to do that, and I think you're right with the stimulus check. My wife and I talked about it when that comes in. We took our tax return and we did some things for us at the house. Like we needed new couches. Our couches sucked, and we needed a new refrigerator, and so we did that stuff. But when this check comes in, we're both still working. We said we're just going to put that in the savings and let it sit there for a rainy day when we need something that, who knows what happens, and be smart about it. It's the time right now where I said 2 weeks ago, this is the perfect time to, hey, let's go back and complete our sets. What are your needs? Let's make trades. I've made more trades in the last 6 weeks than I have in a long time, where it's like, hey, I'm completing this set. You're completing this set. Hey, I'll just send you all what I have, and they send me all what they have. And it's the cost of a stamp, so it's 60 cents or 55 cents for that stamp, or $3.50 or $4 for a bubble mailer. But I know I'm sending the same amount back, or the value, and so we're just making these trades, and I think that's where we need to be, and kind of maybe put a pause on a little of this big spending. And and sometimes it's nice to go get some retail therapy or to buy cards and do that stuff and have things come in the mail. But you got to temper where you are and don't blow the budget because you're stuck at home. It's like, sitting there and you're grazing all day because you're at home working, and then you have all your food, you're sitting there eating too. So it's like, we got to figure out this new normal that we're in for right now. And, Mike said his LCS is buying. And hey, you know what? If, it's perfect time if you have the funds to do it, to swoop in and get some great deals. And when it comes through, everything comes back to normal, then you turn around and you're sitting pretty because you have all this inventory to move and people have money to spend. So just be smart. That's all we're asking. And don't make a choice between, hey, do I buy milk or do I buy the blaster? Don't be in that spot. Or, God, I can't make the post I dread seeing are, hey guys, I need to sell this X, Y, and Z card because I'm not going to make my mortgage this month. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and it's all like new stuff, like the newest thing. It's like, I bought into some that, it's like, man, why did you not pay that first? And then whatever you had left over, go buy into National Treasures breaks.
Right.
Yeah. My computer, and I've been reading the messages here. People were talking about trading card database. I think I've spent so much time on that site in the last week building up my checklist for my teams and my player sets. And hands down, one of my favorite sites, Baseball Cardpedia too. If you guys are at home, and this is a good time to get organized. And you can see behind me, I'm a big nerd about organizing, and I'm working on it. But this is a really good time to kind of get back down to the basics of collecting. So I don't know what you guys think. I think it's
Chris Harris. I read a comment. It is a buyer's market right now. I said this on my program as well. Prices for a lot of things are starting to come down a little bit as people, I don't want to say panic sell, but want to generate some income. And so I'm always a buyer, and I've continued to do that. But if I go to work Monday and my boss says, "Hey man, we're shutting down," that's going to impact my buying, which is going to be less, and that's where that discretionary income. And we're at 6.6 million for unemployment. Let's get a little real life here because that's where we are. That number is going to go up. We're at the front end. If you watch all the stuff, which I do because I'm a dad and a human, we're at the front end of this thing. So that number's going up. The government's already talking about a second stimulus package. If that doesn't tell you that they don't think this thing's going to be prolonged, Eric was on my show and he made a great point. Are we going to have sports in 2020? And I agree. Until he said it, I didn't even think on that level. And I think unfortunately, I think he may be right. And if we do, it's going to be probably 2 empty arenas, and that's sort of no fun. I mean, if you've been to sporting events, I go to quite a bit. There's nothing like seeing it in person. Although, from a selfish point of view, I get to watch it at home. It's still the game's still being played. But this thing, we're just at the front end of it, and so what we're seeing now is just the beginning. It's not like we can see over the hill yet. We're not over the hill yet, and that's the scary part. And I wish we weren't talking about this. I take no enjoyment out of it. I wish we were talking about all the products getting released and the Carter Mondays not shut down.
The breakout rookie we didn't expect, and that we're all now chasing down, and like Dumbuya, right when he had that slam dunk earlier in the season for the Pistons, all of a sudden he went from being how do you say his name to, oh God, I have one of his cards. Let me sell it real quick and make a quick buck, and we'd be right now in the heart of baseball season. Who knows if some rookie other than like Robert or, Alvarez was taken off, and we could go and oh, I got to grab him. Who knows if it was Sean Murphy for the A's, and all of a sudden now we're all sitting, and so that's what I'm missing, I think, the most. And it's just, guys, be smart out there. And, we're going to try to provide content and have fun. And that's why we're doing our shows, and we do this together and, put it out there so everybody can enjoy. And, before we roll out to the guys, any final thoughts?
I just wanted, everyone stay safe, do what we're being asked to do. Hopefully, I don't know. You listen to two different things, you hear two different answers, but stay safe. I'm wishing everyone, you and yours, yourself and your family, your friends, everyone to stay safe and be okay.
Yeah, I'd echo those comments. It sucks not seeing everybody, but I'm thankful for opportunities like this to be able to see you guys here on this platform. We're all adjusting, so please just be smart, stay safe, keep collecting, but stay home and find ways to entertain yourself.
Enjoy the stuff you have right now in your
Yeah.
collection. I found a box yesterday, 2 days ago, that was full of Mike Trout cards, and one of them was an action variation from 2013 Heritage that I just thought was the base card. I looked it up; it was a $400 card, and I was like, "Wait, what? This has been in a box in the back of my closet for years."
Sure.
And so, who knows what you guys have hiding back there? I thought I was pretty organized.
I found 5 1990 Fleer Jose Wanna so I'm
hey, you know what? You're minted, man. John is gonna be so minted at the next national if we have. Yeah. So hey, and you guys don't. Yeah. So the giveaway.
Yeah, the giveaway. Alexis Lafrene giveaway hat. What did you say, Shep? Best comment wins. Is that right?
Leave a positive comment on the YouTube page, and we'll grab all those comments. We'll do a random, and whoever's up top at the end of the random next week's show will win the hat, which is outstanding. I have that hat. It's autographed. But my son loves it. He's 2 and he loves to wear it around the house, and he always wears it like crazy ways. And I try to wear my hat that way. He goes, "No, Dada," and he always moves it back straight. Like I'm not cool enough to wear it off like he does like this. So,
right. We can't go all King Felix on him, right? And wear it to the side like this.
Yeah. By the way, I wanted to see King Felix pitch. Not that I want to see him pitch some more. And he's down in Atlanta, and I was really hoping that this season, like he'd make the team and they would make a World Series run, and we could see Felix in a World Series.
That'd be great.
It's sad not to see him in Seattle anymore. And I understand, like, hey, sometimes you have to move on from the Giants moved on from Bumgarner, right? He provided us all those years of enjoyment, and sometimes that has to happen. But God, I'd like to see him get one more opportunity to make a run at a series, because he's one of those guys that everybody you stopped. There were some years when he pitched, you stopped and watched and were amazed by what he was doing on not very good Mariners teams. Let's be honest.
Right. If you will, I worked for the Mariners from 2010 to 2012, and I was at his perfect game. That was a masterpiece, and that team sucked. Like that Mariners team was horrible. But Felix came out that day and just controlled everything. And I'm gonna tell you, I've never had more fun at a ballpark the next time Felix was up in the rotation, because it was like a college football game atmosphere, and it was amazing.
That's awesome. And hey, Chris says the show's very therapeutic in times like this. That means a lot, bud. Thank you very much. Oh, and hey, real quick, Casey Kreider right now tweet the newest one of the new New York Giants. He's a Pro Bowl long snapper, was a Denver Bronco, just signed with the Giants, and we're hoping that he gets a season this year and gets out there and gets to play. We're very excited, Casey. Congratulations on the new deal.
Awesome.
We hope you and your family are well. Great collector. And it was weird. We had about the cards. We had a whole bunch of guys from Iowa on, like in a row. So I don't know what's going on with Iowa and collectors. Collecting is huge in Iowa, I guess. That and corn. I don't know. So outstanding, guys. Remember, we're live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Periscope, and Facebook. Make sure to subscribe and review our show on all platforms. We really appreciate it. You can follow us at Hobby Hotline on Twitter. You can follow Eric at Fat Pack Podcast on Twitter. John Newman at SportsCard81 on Twitter. I'm at Big Shep 79. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next week, and we'll have another round of great hosts and great topics, and also calls from you. We'll see you then.
Thanks, guys.